Hello. I am someone who always work efficiency when there's a schedule or there's a routine. I love that because sometimes I get lost in life, in distractions. And a lot of the time I didn't get anything done at all, or I wasn't being efficient enough. So I love to set a routine, not just in work, but also in life, because I think it's important to balance these two things together. So I have already created like a flow system for my work, which is good. Now I'm trying to create something for my routine. And I have this routine where I used to do it and it works so well for me. It covers everything and I love it so much. This is what it is. I would do 5 to 10 minutes meditation right after I wake up, and then I would get out, uh, sit on a yoga mat, and do 10 minutes stretching, and I will do 10 minutes of yoga flow. And during this, I added affirmation at the end of my meditation as well. So this is a routine where it works on my inner world. It calms my inner world. It calms my mind before I see the screen, before I start the day. And also I program the positive affirmation within myself before I start the day and consume other things. So that's a good thing. That's the way I want to start the day, right? But sometimes I have these feelings. In the beginning I didn't really understand, but I didn't really understand. I thought I was just being lazy and I don't want to follow my routine, and maybe I'm just being inconsistent about forming the new habits for my routine. But after learning about myself, learning to listen to myself more, I noticed that it's not about being inconsistency or being lazy. Sometimes the body, so the body and the mind are just requesting some gentle day, you know? Not every day that we have to be super productive, right on schedule, like follow every single routine that we set up for the day. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that actually. I want to be able to do that every single day. But what I noticed was when I force myself into those habits, into those routines, when physically and mentally was were not ready, I ended up feeling more exhausted after doing all of this, after following the routine. So I was like, wait, it's supposed to make me feel better after doing this, but it doesn't. So then I was talking to myself and like, so what is the best approach? You know, is it wrong to not following the routine every single day? Is it wrong to not stretching every day? Is it wrong to not doing a little bit of yoga? Add some movement into the body. It's not. Actually, it's not. But if you do that, if you live your life like that without any movement at all, of course that's not good, But it's also not good when you try to force productivity all the time, you know, because I don't know. I might say this as a woman, because we have cycles, right? In every week, we have different cycles every week. We feel differently every week. So I think that's also part of it. Like we don't generate the same amount of energy every single day. So I think it's very important to listen to our body and to our bodies and knows what it needs, you know? Because for example, maybe you're having like a rough sleeping routine and you wake up during the night a lot and it's always on and off during the night, so like you woke up very, very tired, and you still want to force productivity when your mind is already like, oh, I'm not up for today. But I used to talk myself into it, like, no, Mana, we have to do this. We need to do this. This is what's going to help us. We need to do this because we're trying to form a new routine. These good habits will help us long term. And that is true. But if I stop, no, not, if I don't do it every single day, that is also fine. And this is a thing that I've been learning about myself, and I think I'm getting quite better at it, because before, if I did not follow routine steps my morning routine steps, I would guilt trip myself. I would feel like I'm not doing enough. I would feel like I need to do more, like this is not enough. I need to do more in order to be better, right? In order to improve myself, I need to do more. And when I don't, or when there are circumstances that kind of stop me from doing it, like I used to get injured in my lower back, and that stopped me from doing anything. I couldn't even sit for meditation. So during those time, it was in the beginning of the stage where I stopped, like I learned to stop guilt trip myself into resting. I really need resting. Like there's no choice here. My body was in pain. I couldn't do anything. I barely move. It's so hard. So for the person with the mindset of we need to do, we need to follow this routine every single day. When you're being forced by circumstances like that, like a body injury, there's no choice. And it's so hard to understand that you're not, Manao, your body needs rest, and you're in pain. You're not being lazy or inconsistency. But what I was feeling at the time, because I was trying to form these new habits, I was like, I was actually afraid that the the momentum of the momentum of every morning that I do this routine, I'm not gonna be able to follow it, follow through with it after the pain gone. You know, like I was scared that maybe I'm just trying to form this and it's not stuck yet. Like when they say if you want to build a new habit, you need to follow through for at least 21 days and it will become natural to you. It will become a habit that you naturally do it without having to like go through it every single day and force it, right? And I believe in that because I used to be in the flow. Imagine I was doing these morning routines 4 months straight, every single day, every single day. I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I did that. But I think I just pushed through and it became a part of me. So on those days where I had some errands to run, or I need to left the house early in the morning, or I didn't have time to do the morning routine, I was fine because I wasn't scared that I'm not gonna be able to do it again. So that kind of helps me to like slowly understanding that this doesn't mean inconsistency. It doesn't mean laziness. It simply means that sometimes the body and the mind just want something gentle, something soft, something that requires life to move a little bit slower, you know? Not not in a way that always pushing. I don't think I'm the only one, who feel this way. So if you're also feeling the same way, I also wanted to let you know that you're not the only one. And it doesn't mean that you're being lazy or inconsistent. Sometimes we need to listen to what the body needs more. I can say this with direct experience because yesterday I'm comparing today with yesterday. Yesterday I woke up and I was like fired up. I fired up since the moment I woke up. I filmed the content for 30 minutes straight, without script. Of course, it was like a natural context that I wanted to share. And I finished like 6 to 7 tasks yesterday. I scheduled every single platforms for this entire month. You know, next move for me is to thinking about next month. I already have everything, mapped out and scheduled for this entire month. And we're not even half of this month yet, and I already have everything figured out and scheduled. So I was like very fired up yesterday, and I could feel I don't need to force myself into um the steps of routines. I just do it naturally because I felt energized and energetic. I felt energetic from doing it. Wait, I felt energized from doing it. Yeah. So I did it very naturally. And today I woke up, I did 10 minutes meditation. I stretched for 10 minutes, but after stretching and meditation, I'm like, I don't think today is for yoga flow. I know yoga flow is only 15 minutes, but I there's another day that I used to force myself into meditate, stretch, and do yoga flow. And I ended up feeling like I shouldn't have done it. It's not the tiredness of the yoga, because most of the time I would feel more energized from doing yoga. Like I feel like I'm ready to start the day, hop into the shower, get ready, get dressed, and I would feel I'm ready for the day. But that other time, I didn't feel like that after yoga flow. And so I decided to listen to myself more. And I'm not cutting yoga flow out of my morning routine. I'm definitely going to go back to it. But I think what I need today is not that, you know. Also today is my one day off. I want to go sit somewhere quietly in nature. I want to draw, I want to spend time with myself outside of the house. And I don't want to be exhausted before I even left the house, because that is just gonna delete every motivation I have in going out. I don't really leave the house. I love staying at the house because I have a lot of work to do. I love being by myself. But today is the day that I told myself I need to leave the house. I haven't left the house in weeks. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm okay with it. I'm not depressed or anything. But this morning, around 8 a.m., I got sunlight directly into my bedroom, and I sat under the sun for 15 minutes. And I'm soaked in vitamin D. And so I want to get vitamin D outside. I want to breathe the fresh air, change environment. Let's say that. So yeah, that's what I want to do today. And I don't want to exhaust myself before I do that, because I have a feeling as an introvert, I have a feeling that maybe only a couple of hours after outside the house, I'm gonna want to come back to the house. So that's what I'm gonna do. I just want to share this because I feel like it's very important, because I know what it feels like to force productivity, to follow routines every single day, and I know how it feels like when the body and the mind doesn't respond to those productivity. And I also know how it feels like when you listen to your body and your mind and giving it what it needs instead of forcing it into productivity, into being super efficient. By the way, there's nothing wrong with being productive and efficient. There's nothing wrong with that. That is what everyone crave, right? That's what everyone wants in life. I think it's really important to listen to yourself more than what the external point of view needs of you. The way you see yourself is not just how many days you could follow up the routines. I think it's more about how deeply can you listen to yourself and understand yourself and actually give yourself what you need, what you actually need, and not what the society is telling you. So I think that is important. And I'm getting better at listening to myself. So it's really worth it. It's like you're not fighting, you're not fighting against your rhythm, you're not fighting against your energy. You actually flow aligned with it. And that just makes everything in life flow better and more efficient, actually. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.